They drink poop coffee.
I'm drinking water out of my plastic bottle.
Okay, well, I'm drinking poop coffee.
You're gonna get so much estrogen.
Okay, once upon a time.
Yeah.
That's
Once
it?
upon a time.
One time I had woken up.
Oh,
Oh
no
my.
way. Oh my. I'm glad Audrey's going first.
Yo! So I had walking out to the hallway. I was gonna go with my dogs out, a daily nighttime routine.
No way.
Dana?
Okay, and I went to go let my dogs out. We all know that somebody robbed my house and they took even the walls and the floors, everything. So I was walking on beams and like hopping over everything. So I walked to the cage. There was a hole at the bottom of the cage. The dogs were gone. Like fucking gone. And then all of a sudden I see somebody.
Icy's in the story now.
I saw Icy run out the front door and slam the door behind her.
I did do that.
Me, I pulled the slick one. I jumped out the window and I chased after her. And all of a sudden, she pulls the gun out, and I'm like,
Your dog pulls a
"Whoa."
gun out.
What? I pulled a gun out.
No, she pulled the gun out. My dog pulled out a knife.
Me and Audrey's dog fought.
And it was a sight to see. I've never seen Icy that bloody.
Was that a haiku?
Haiku.
Haiku? I love Haiku.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, the scene just transformed into a kitchen. And Icy's laying there, chopped up.
Is this a
and
dream?
all of a sudden, I see Cece come up to me, their chef hat on, and my dog is behind her, and they're like holding hands. And all of a sudden, they're plating this icy dish, and then they're
eating icy,
and they start making me give it out to the table. Bella doesn't have any arms for some reason.
What?
Alexis is full of shit. Kenny is bald. Dana is nowhere to be seen. And then all of a sudden, the stage lights up, and Dana walks on the stage, and she starts doing fire tricks. But we all know Dana can't balance very well, so the stick falls. The place catches on fire. Adam falls from the second story and onto the table. I book it out the door. All of a sudden, I turn around, I lock the door, and I start going down the street. The house collapses. Everybody in there dies. And that's how I got away with Homicide. Thank you.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah. You have the stage.
It's actually, it's real though.
Who is breathing? Who's breathing?
It wasn't me. I was pulling my breath in. Sorry, guys.
Someone's a mouth breather.
Okay, so I was watching Ghost Adventures with my stepbrother, and we got really scared, so we closed like all the doors in the house. And then we watched like another episode, and then we turn around and all the doors are open. And my brother's window in his room.
Audrey, this is supposed to be scary stories. Why are you wheezing?
He's drowning. He's drowning. Help him.
Continue.
And my brother's window was broken.
It's CC cooking. Sorry, keep going.
That's it.
The doors are open behind you.
Broken?
Yeah. So right behind the couch is like all the doors to everyone's rooms. They're all open.
When I was really little, I used to have this old porcelain doll that had the wind-up thing at the back, and it plays music.
Yeah.
And it would play like that song. I don't want to sing it, but the "You Are My Sunshine" song.
You are my sunshine.
That one. I would like wake up in the middle of the night, and it would be playing, and then it would like stop, and I'd tell my mum and she'd be like, "Oh, it's just like still wound up, so it's like slowly finishing." And I was like, "But it keeps doing it." And she's like, "It's nothing." So
God,
you would
hearing
hear it.
that and no one's in the room, that must have been so scary.
It was terrifying.
In like 2008, we bought this 1967 Chrysler, and it was sitting in my garage up until the start of this year. And we decided to finally take it out and bring it to a mechanic. And it was sitting, there's my room on the edge of the house, and just outside of my room is the driveway. And we had it parked out, like right in the front of my room. And it was there for 3 or 4, just under a week before they came and picked it up. And while it was there, I'd be sleeping and my keyboard would be clicking and shit on its own. And like 3 or 4 times a night, my computer would turn on its own. And I made a joke that his name was Carmen, and he died in the car. So as a joke, while I was in Discord, I'd like try and piss him off. And then the last night the car was here, I put my alarm on, and I never have my phone on vibrate, and I normally have it on the other side of the room, so I actually get up when the alarm goes off. Yeah. And it was like 3 or 4 a.m. and my phone started vibrating, like right next to me on my bed. And I turn around and there's like a dark figure standing over me, and I freak the fuck out, and I get up and it's gone. That was pretty funny.
He was just trying to help another gamer out.
Yeah, he wanted to game.
When that happened, it wasn't directly to me, but my mom told it to me 2 weeks ago. Basically, the old house that I lived in, she like told me the history of it, and there was a grandma who was living there, and she had dementia, and she also had sundowning. So in her room, they had to put locks on all of the doors and windows and stuff so that she, in the middle of the night, wouldn't like get up and leave. And they also had security cameras that would detect motion so that if she was moving around in the middle of the night, they could watch her on the security cameras and make sure she wasn't going to hurt herself. And then as soon as she would go back to sleep, they would go back to sleep. And she started doing this really weird thing in the middle of the night, and she would like crouch on the floor. She just like crouched by a window, like with like her hands over her knees, and she would fall asleep right there.
What?
And she
Doing the WAP?
The what?
The WAP?
The WAP?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was doing that. She was a stanky leg. My mom didn't know about that, and one of our neighbors came over one day, like while we were living there, and he was explaining like why we had locks on all of the windows. And he like explained that story to my mom, and then my mom was explaining to him that she always felt like there was like a woman crouching under that window. Like she had always felt it because she would like go and turn off all the lights, and she always felt like there's a woman crouching there before she even knew that there was someone who actually was crouching there in the past, and she died in that room, like dead ass. Yeah. I don't know, that was creepy.
I had one from my mum. So she grew up in Fiji. It was her 3 sisters and my grandma, her mum. And it was like a little shack. And obviously it was Fiji, there was no electricity or anything. And there was one night where they were all sleeping. So they all slept in the same room. So it was like a 1-bedroom, bathroom, then kitchen. They all slept in the same room, and my mum and her sister heard something outside, like scratching on the door, and they went to go look, and it was my grandma, their mum, scratching on the door. And they're like, oh shit, what, should we go wake her up or something? Like they thought she was sleeping. And then in the corner of the room, they heard their mum go, no, don't open the door.
What?
What?
And then they just like that. And she just told them to go back to sleep. It's nothing.
Okay, well, I don't really believe in ghosts, or like I never had like a paranormal activity. So anything scary that's happened to me is just because
it was scary. Like it was not real.
Well, no, they're mostly like embarrassing stories. So back when Slender Man was a thing, right? So that was like like what? It came out in like 2012. Yeah, so I was like 9 or 10. I was a pretty like stupid kid. So when Slender Man came out, I got scared of it. Like I would look behind my back.
No,
like,
I did that as well. I was so fucking scared of him.
I would look behind my back, and like I would see like coat hangers, and like I thought it would be Slender Man.
It was
And
his head?
Yes,
like a
and then
white bulb.
Oh my god.
yeah, and like lamps too. It like became an obsession of
Or
like
like
me
pipes
being
outside.
scared.
Yeah.
So at one point it was Thanksgiving and we were in the city. So it takes like it takes like an hour drive to get to my grandparents' place in the city, and then you have to take 2 bridges back home. So the bridge back home in Thanksgiving, there was like something in the water. I was in the back seat and it's really really dark, so like maybe around like 11 p.m. And then I saw something in the water. And you know how Slender Man, he's really long, he has long arms and legs.
Yeah.
I thought I saw the silhouette of Slender Man and I thought, once you see him, you're gonna die. So so I'm screaming in the back seat. My dad almost like stops the car in the middle of the bridge and, almost caused a car accident. And I'm screaming like Bloody Mary. I can't stop screaming, and it takes me like until we get into the next exit. We go into a gas station, and then I get out of the car, and my dad takes me outside and puts me on the pickup truck like in the back, and he has a pep talk with me. And he's like, "What did you see?" And I'm like, "I saw a Slender Man." But I swear to God, when I thought I saw it in the car, I thought it was gonna teleport to me and kill me. It was real.
It
That's
was
really
real.
scary, Alexis. I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah,
Oh my
me
god.
too. Did you guys have MSN Messenger?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
What?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. People would send
Oh, the send 10
chain
emails.
mails,
Yeah.
but I was really young and I believed them. And someone sent me one that was like, "Send this to 10 people, or Bloody Mary will come visit you and murder you."
I remember those.
And
Oh my God.
I remember reading it and I started freaking out. So my brother comes up to my room and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Look at the email." And he's like, "Pfft, that's not real." And deletes it. And I'm like, "I didn't send it to 10 people. I'm gonna die tonight." And he's like, "No, you're not. Don't be stupid." And I was like, "No, I'm serious. I'm gonna fucking die." And so I'm like telling my mom, I'm like, "Mom, I have to sleep in your bed. She's gonna go to my bed. If I'm in your bed, I'll be safe." my mom's like, "You're not sleeping in my bed. You're sleeping in yours. Go away." So I go back to my room, and under my covers is like the outline of a person. And I'm like freaking out, really scared. And I like slowly walk up to my bed and pull back the covers. And it was just like a bunch of toys shaped to be like a person. And my brother comes out and starts laughing at me. And I'm like, "I thought I was gonna die."
One time when I was 4, we've been in our house for a long time. But this is when I started like around this age where I started to remember things and I was starting to get smarter. So there's like a room in the very back of our house and it's my parents' room and it's a bigger room. And that room had a lock in it. So I was running into the room and then the window was open and the wind was really strong. So it like closed the door and smacked it shut. And when I was trying to open the door, it didn't open and it locked itself. But I didn't think it was locked. And then I hear like crashing and booming because it's like raining outside. And then for some reason in my mind, it's like a movie theater. I look over it as the crashing and banging and the thunder, whatever. I see Converse shoes, like red Converse shoes, and I thought the shoes were haunted, and it caused me to be locked inside the room.
You ever shit yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it count if it's like in a lake?
What?
What? Never go swimming with Dana.